In the next year, I think AI will continue to improve in areas like personalization, real-time collaboration, and handling more complex tasks. We'll likely see AI becoming more intuitive, helping businesses automate processes and enhance decision-making while staying user-friendly.
Welcome to the Creative and Code podcast.
Welcome to the internet, my friend.
Brought to you by ID Digital Agency.
Kind of a big deal.
Dive into the dynamic world of digital marketing, creative design, and coding with top experts, latest trends, and actionable insights. Let's get inspired and innovate together.
It's showtime.
Okay, here we go again, Emily.
Podcast.
Number
5. Is it number 5?
Yeah. Fünf? No, I don't know. Fünf, eins, drei, vier, fünf. Yeah,
This is
it is
German?
fünf. Yeah.
How do you know German?
I only know little bits of everything.
Okay.
Jack of all trades, maybe. How are things today, Emily?
Things are good. We just went for a Hector's Deli lunch.
We did. We took a lunch to a client. Yeah,
it
to
was
social.
great.
It was good.
It was pretty cool. I've never seen like the back end of an event company like that, to see like all of the plates they have in storage. That's crazy.
Well, normally when you go to an event, you know, it's all set up. It's all looking great. There's all the crockery and furniture and food and all that stuff. But yes, so much goes into it that you don't see.
Exactly. Seeing the back end of it, and even like their showroom where they've got it set up. So many decisions to be made.
Yeah.
Who knew there were so many types of chair?
There is lots and lots of chairs. Yeah, this is our client's social.au, and we're upgrading their website. We're doing their socials. We're doing a new site for them for their Dubai outfit. So it's going great. We've been with them for, I'm trying not to say crazy. I've noticed in our last podcast, you and I say crazy way too much. So I'm trying not to say it this time.
Not to say it.
But yeah, we've had them now for a couple of months and it's going good.
It is.
Yeah, we're doing all their tracking, the Looker Studio stuff.
Yeah, lots of setup for them.
Yeah.
And that's what I think they were saying, that this is more data than they've ever seen before to do with their business. So, yeah, it's pretty cool to give them access to that.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And today, Chat GPT, we are interviewing. It's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what pronoun do we use for Chat GPT for one?
I think we just call it Chat GPT.
I'm curious to see what it says.
Funnily, when preparing for this podcast too, down here, if you're watching on video, you'll see that we've got a microphone attached to a phone. That's how we're doing Chat GPT, so you can hear it. Normally, we'd do it through a cable, and we haven't figured that out yet.
On episode 5.
We're getting there. There's some of them thousands of episodes that have got this down pat, but we're still trying.
We're learning.
And learning, that's right. So we're going to interview Chat GPT in a little bit, and we've really just prompted it, and that's the important thing, is you give it enough awareness and input before you start wanting output out of Chat GPT. So I've spent maybe 20 minutes today just explaining what our podcast does. I've fed it with previous podcast information. I've explained to it that we want it as an interview style, that we want actually ChatGPT to ask us questions. Mm-hmm. There's a huge range of input that's been put into this, and we've told ChatGPT up front that we'd love the interview to be about ChatGPT, GPT, not BT, and it to let us know a little bit about how it works and what it's for and the types of things you can do with it. So it's going to be interesting to see how it works.
Yeah, I'm curious too, because I feel like I've seen a lot of discourse online recently about people kind of fighting back against it and saying, why would anyone need to use ChatGPT for anything? And I kind of feel like I've been using it almost every day. I'm like, am I on the wrong side of history here? But I feel like there's a lot to it that maybe people who aren't in digital industries don't realise. So maybe this will help uncover some of that.
It's all the things you haven't thought about that you could use ChatGPT for.
Yeah.
404. And even things like getting out of a parking fine. Or
no, that's a good one.
Yeah, or writing content and referencing other sites for inspiration or keyword ideas and things like that. It's getting there. Even things like architecture of web layouts. You've been doing it for help with Illustrator, like in our last podcast that we spoke about.
Yeah. One thing I used it for this week is I've just been uploading images to it and saying, can you generate a Pinterest caption? Because it can read the image. So instead of me having to think, okay, well, this has got this kind of deck or this kind of wood or whatever in this image, it just reads it and it writes it for me, and then
we might do that at the end too. So with ChatGPT 4.0, which is the one that we're using, it's the paid version. You can use a free version, but there are other things that you can do with the ChatGPT 4.0 version that you can't on the free version. So yeah, we're using the paid one. But at the end, what we might do is we'll hold up and do a video or a photo and we'll ask it what it can see. And it's pretty amazing, the detail it picks up in.
It's pretty, yeah. I know, especially one guy upstairs uploaded a video of his sandwich to Chat GPT and then got it to write a review based on the sandwich. And it like identified the ingredients in the sandwich and like figured out, all this stuff about it to write in the review. Anyway,
Phenomenal.
Just based on image, who knew?
Yeah, well, let's get into the news.
everyone.
Uh-oh, I don't like the sound of that. This is the way.
I think as well, it's our fifth podcast now when we've kind of found our own seats. We're ingrained and you're on that side, I'm on this side. Whoop.
Shit.
Chat GPT wants to start talking, but just hold off a second, mate.
Calm down, mate.
So, yeah, what's happened this week for you?
People are starting to get their budgets. We're like a little bit further into the financial year than I feel like usually happens, but I've had a lot
It's
of
going to make a noise. Yep.
ad adjustments this week.
Right.
Which I feel like, usually this would be like mid-July. We're like a whole month and a half behind.
Yeah, we've had to do 3 proposals or estimates for 3 separate companies wanting social campaigns.
Like marketing. Yeah, I think everyone's just finally got their budgets and is like raring to go. So
Yeah,
this week's
let's get out there. Let's get some inquiries, some conversions.
Which is nice because it's good to have like more interesting kind of work popping up and you know that there's cool things on the horizon, but then it's also like, oh God, like it kind of felt like things were slowing down a little bit, but then of course everything ticks back up.
I reckon out of those as well, there's obviously clients that are wanting to get conversions, but a lot of them are just wanting to get their brand out there too.
Oh, yeah.
We got a lot of questions like, why would someone want to just get their brand out there if they're not making money? And it's really the next time someone goes, oh, I need a spanner or I need a new light fitting or whatever it is, they'll be like, oh yeah, I remember there was something. And
I saw that ad,
yeah, because not right now is when people are purchasing.
Exactly.
And most people aren't ready. So if your brand is out there, that's the word I'm looking for, continuously, then yeah, hopefully they're the ones that, I thought about. So
what people don't realize too is that, someone might take 10 touch points of your brand before they actually make a purchase. So intending to get that conversion of someone the first time they see an ad is not very productive. In reality, you need to have that person have seen ads and brand awareness things and organic posts 10 times before they actually get to the point where they purchase. So there's value in brand awareness campaigns.
Totally, and that's where those campaigns have got different channels. Sometimes you can do it in search. Search is really just click, convert, and off you go. You're done. So online stores and things like that work really well. But then you've got like BVOD, which we were talking about this morning, broadcast video on demand, which is all the free Netflix accounts, your 10 Play, your 9 Plus, or 9 Now, all those ones that have got free subscription-based models for video content through things like Hubble and just your Freeview. But they obviously need to make money too. And you can, as a small business even, put your ads out there pretty quickly and efficiently.
Which is a crazy good one now. Just thinking we have quite a few kind of home renovation clients and the block's airing. So I feel like a lot of people watching that on 9 Now, whatever it is. That's like prime advertising opportunity right there.
Kitchen renovation's massive at the moment. Yeah, a lot of our clients are in that renovation space and yeah, they do piggyback off the block. Obviously, if you are part of the block, then it's an absolute fortune to be partner. But you can do creative things to make that work. Like, for instance, I don't know if you've seen, but I think I talked about it, the Nike campaign for the London 20, whatever it was, Olympics.
Oh, yeah, I think you talked about this in the last podcast.
Did I?
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
We've already covered that.
I'm a one-trick pony, basically. Cool. So on your side, it's been pretty busy.
It's been pretty busy. What about on your side?
Out of those 2 big proposals, we got one approved, which was great. It was funny. It was meant to come through on Friday, and it was so close. We were going back and forth with the client. Client's like driving and working at the same time, trying to get this approval for us, which was really great. And it got to the end, and we didn't hear anything. Then the whole weekend, I'm like, I wonder what's going to happen. All this kind of stuff. Anyway, I get in on Monday, check my emails at 8 o'clock. It actually came through on the Saturday morning. I was like, I could have had like an awesome weekend. Exactly. And then the second one, it is like 99%. It's verbally approved. We just have to wait till it's been approved by their board.
Yeah.
Exactly. So things are looking good. And a lot of other work has come through this week. So yeah, like you said, budgets seem to have been realised and people are a bit more what's the word I'm looking for? Ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, a little bit. Feels like it also, I feel like maybe it's also coincides with the weather getting a little bit better. Like everyone was
People
a
are
bit down in the
happier.
dumps, and now everyone's like a bit, more upbeat and ready to like start things and feeling creative and ready to go. It's funny how it makes a difference.
Couldn't agree less. More, whatever. Anyway, let's get our guest on.
You have my curiosity. Now you have my attention.
So yeah, as you might have heard, Chat GPT is being interviewed today. So we'll say hi to Chat GPT. The way we're going to do this is through voice. We're not going to type anything. This is going to be a conversation with Chat GPT. On the free version, you can do this. On the paid version, you can as well. The paid version can do a lot more, and it can take photos, and you can upload videos. You can upload PDF documents, Excel spreadsheets, a whole range of different stuff, and it'll analyze it for you. We've been doing quite a lot of that lately, creating content with tone and personality, refining it down to specific characters or word lengths. Yeah, some of our clients can be very specific about exactly how much content they want, and with something like ChatGPT, you can make it happen, and then obviously do your tweaks and adjustments to make it a little bit more human.
I will say it is getting better at character counts, because a couple months ago it was really struggling, but now I gave it like, please do this in 90 characters, and it gave me like 85. So that's...
Wow, okay, it's getting better. It used to be
much
very
better.
broad.
Oh yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah.
before. So we're on the mend.
Especially if you're wanting to do, like, let's say you've got 4 services and you want to do a page that just introduces them and you want a similar amount of text for each. Yeah.
Perfect.
This one's a little, this one's a lot. But I have realised lately that it's getting
It's getting a
much
little
better.
better. Yeah, well, that's good to know that it's improving all the time.
Yeah, totally. All right, so let's get ChatGPT on. I'll give it the little thumbs up. Emily, if you want to start. So it's just saying connecting. Here we go.
Hi, ChatGPT. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. How about you? Ready to dive into some AI talk today?
Yes, I am. We're excited to be interviewing you for the Creative and Code podcast.
I'm excited to be here. The Creative and Code podcast sounds like the perfect place to chat about all things AI, digital agencies, and coding. So, where should we start?
How about we start with a little bit about you and how you came to be and what you're mostly suitable for?
Absolutely. So I'm Chat GPT, an AI language model created by OpenAI. You can think of me as a really advanced text generator that's been trained on a massive amount of data, everything from books and websites to articles and coding tutorials. This allows me to understand and generate human-like text on a wide range of topics. I came to be through a process called training, where I was exposed to patterns in language. Over time, I learned how to predict the next word in a sentence, which eventually evolved into being able to have conversations, help with coding, generate content, and more. Now, when it comes to what I'm most suitable for, I'd say my strengths lie in helping with tasks like content creation, brainstorming ideas, coding assistance, and even answering complex questions. I'm particularly useful for digital agencies because I can draft everything from website copy to social media posts. And I can help with technical tasks like debugging code or suggesting optimizations. But I should note, I'm not a replacement for human creativity or strategic thinking. I'm here to enhance your work, not take it over.
So based on everything that you've just told us, what is ChatGPT mostly used for in digital agencies?
Great question. In digital agencies, I'm mostly used for a few key areas. 1, content creation. Whether it's writing blog posts, website copy, or social media content, I can generate drafts quickly, helping teams save time. I'm also handy for brainstorming headlines, taglines, and campaign ideas, providing that initial spark of creativity. 2, coding assistance. For developers, I'm useful in writing code snippets, debugging, and even suggesting improvements or optimizations. I can help tackle repetitive tasks or provide quick solutions to common coding problems. 3, brainstorming and ideation. When creative blocks hit, I can offer fresh ideas or alternative approaches, whether it's for a new campaign, a design concept, or even business strategy. For SEO optimization,
And he can go on and on and
I can
on.
help with
So
keyword
what's really good
research,
is that I can keep
crafting
talking and I can interrupt him whenever I want,
SEO
which is great. So
friendly
Emily, do you have a
content
question
that
for
aligns
him?
with your goals. 5, client communications. Some agencies use
You
me
don't?
to draft client emails.
So what about other things that ChatGPT could be used for say, small businesses, other than the usual things? What are you really good at that most people don't use you for?
That's a fantastic angle. There are definitely some under-the-radar uses for Chat GPT that small businesses and agencies might not be taking full advantage of yet, but that could really boost their operations. Here are a few ideas. 1. Client onboarding materials. Many agencies spend a lot of time creating customized onboarding documents, FAQs, or even training materials for new clients. I can help streamline this process by generating clear and personalized documents quickly, allowing businesses to maintain a consistent brand voice and save time. 2. Internal knowledge base. Creating and maintaining an internal knowledge base can be a pain, but it's essential for scaling a business. I can help draft articles, SOPs, and guides that document your processes, making it easier for new team members to get up to speed. 3. Creative brief development. Writing creative briefs for projects is crucial but time-consuming. I can help agencies develop comprehensive briefs that outline project goals.
And he goes on and on and on, which is great. And normally with ChatGPT, he does give you about 7 to 10 different options for every question. And because this is an interview process as well, we're trying to train it to be more quickly responsive, would you say, or be more of an interview rather than going into a lot of detail. So we'll just try and change the prompt for that to work. So do you want to do the prompt or should I?
Sure. We're interviewing you, ChatGPT, so please respond in the shortest possible answers.
Yes, I understand.
All right, so how about some new approaches to what you do and what you've done? What are some of the things that you're not meant to be able to do that your engineers and developers have made sure people can't do?
I can't access real-time data, browse the web, or perform tasks like hacking, personal data retrieval, or providing medical legal advice. My engineers made sure to limit those abilities to protect privacy and security.
And a great answer there. It was detailed enough with not a lot of time taken up, I guess. Would you say that's...
Yeah, I think that's right.
You're welcome. Glad it hit the mark.
So what else should we know about ChatGPT, especially for this podcast?
ChatGPT is great for sparking creativity, assisting with coding, and streamlining content creation. But remember, I work best when paired with human judgment. I'm here to support, not replace.
Thank gosh for that. Why do I say gosh? Thank God for that. So, Emily, ask a question if you like. Just hold on a second, ChatGPT.
I'm curious to find out how you would go about undertaking data analysis in a way that could benefit a small business or a digital agency.
I can help small businesses analyze data by summarizing trends, generating reports, and identifying key insights. Whether it's sales figures, customer feedback, or market research, I can turn raw data into actionable insights quickly.
I was wondering as well, I know you can't actively or live search the web or look at websites, but obviously you do have access to an archive. So I was wondering what you know about ID Digital Agency.
I don't have access to live or archived data about specific businesses unless provided in the conversation. However, I can help with general information or tasks related to ID Digital Agency if you share details with me. If you have any other questions or need further insights, I'm here to help.
We did, as part of this pre-work and input that we provided you before this podcast, you did have a lot of interesting questions to suggest. Could you please provide some of those questions and answers?
Here are a few questions and answers that could be interesting for the podcast. 1. What are some unexpected ways digital agencies can use AI like Chat GPT?
We've done that.
Besides content creation, AI can assist with market research summaries, generating creative briefs, and even automating repetitive tasks like report generation. 2. How can ChatGPT help with client communication?
It's gone back
in
to like the
digital
long form answers.
ChatGPT can draft client emails, proposals, and reports, ensuring clarity and professionalism while saving time for the team. 3. What should agencies keep in mind when using AI for creative work?
I'll just stop you there. I'm just wondering, if someone is new to ChatGPT, what are some of the really good prompts that they should use to work on any business type?
For best results with ChatGPT, start with clear and specific inputs. For example, include context about your goal, like, I need help drafting social media posts for a fitness brand targeting millennials. Then, guide the conversation with a series of questions, such as 1. What are some trending topics in fitness for millennials? 2. Can you suggest a few catchy taglines for an Instagram post? 3. How would you structure a week's worth of content around those topics? 4. What are some ways to engage with followers using this content? 5. How can I infuse humor or personality into these posts? Starting with these kinds of inputs helps set the tone and focus, ensuring ChatGPT generates relevant and creative responses.
So if you were going to be doing a marketing campaign for ID Digital Agency, as an example, and we wanted the personality and tone to be similar to Ryan Reynolds, what kind of input or creative would you recommend? Because we use Ryan Reynolds for everything at the moment, don't we? I know, so you're shaking your head.
A little bit
Campaign
controversial
for
at the
ID
moment.
Digital Agency with a Ryan Reynolds-like tone, the input should be playful, witty, and slightly irreverent, while still being professional. Here's an example input to guide the campaign. 1. Goal: promote ID Digital Agency's expertise in creating digital experiences, focusing on both big brands and startups. 2. Tone: personality: lighthearted, clever, and humorous, like Ryan Reynolds. Use a conversational tone that's approachable, but still showcases the agency's expertise. 3. Key messages: we build digital experiences that make your brand unforgettable.
Nice.
Got a startup? We've got your back. Big brand? We've got your front too. Fast response support, because who has time to wait? 4. Content ideas: taglines: your digital dreams with just the right amount of sarcasm. Social media post: why
Oh, it's
settle
so
for good
bad.
when
It's
you can
cringy
have
sometimes.
ridiculously good? ID Digital Agency, where we make digital magic happen, minus.
Yeah, you can start to see he's going a bit too far with that, and you can actually tone back the personality too by just saying, can you reduce the amount of that personality by say half or a quarter, whatever it might be, and you'll notice that it does change quite a lot too.
Yeah. I find it does have an issue, like when it produces kind of a professional response and you say, I want it to be more casual, it goes straight to like, hey dude,
Yeah.
like
Hardcore.
Yeah, I'm like, I just want it to be a little bit friendlier. Yeah, it's kind of, it jumps from 1 to 100, so it's kind of the same with Ryan Reynolds.
So ChatGPT, with what you know about us, what kind of questions would you like to ask us?
Given what I know about ID Digital Agency, here are a few questions I'd be curious to ask. 1. What's been the most rewarding project you've worked on, and how did it push your creative
Sounds very
boundaries?
interview-based.
2. How
Or it
do you
is an
see the
interview.
role of AI evolving in your agency over the next few years? 3. What's your approach to balancing creative freedom with client expectations?
All right, let's do a couple of those.
Okay, how do you see AI changing in the business?
Well, I can see it rapidly changing, and I think ChatGPT is kind of the brand of AI at the moment, but you've got Claude, you've got a whole range of other ones that are coming out, and they're doing crazy things. We've used not ChatGPT, but we've used other AI models for things like creating music with the most amazing lyrics for our company and others.
I mean,
They're good.
most amazing might be a little bit of an over,
It's talking about wireframes and talking about what we do, and like it's and the music and the percussion and the chorus line and everything is just there.
It's kind of crazy.
Within
You can
10
just
seconds.
generate it, yeah.
Yeah. And then the image generation is going along pretty quickly. I saw last night one of my wife's dad was showing me a Kamala Harris or whatever her name is, and Donald Trump in AI actually realizing that they love for each other. They were holding hands going down a beach, and then they had a baby Trump.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Is this the best use
it's funny,
of
but
the AI?
I know the machine power that's involved in something like that is pretty full on.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy that I don't want to be like dog about it, but the environmental impact of making that video, questionable.
And also the amount of websites obviously out there, and they all have different industries based on their schema code. There are now ways in which you can get wireframes generated really quickly for pretty much any requirement. A lot of things that we're doing these days, especially for Mount Buller, as an example, it's very hard to actually get those wireframes generated in a way through AI to serve the purposes that we have, because there is so much into what we're doing. Can't wait to show you, but there's so much in there, especially all the other things that we're doing potentially for this new client in the wellness and health space and everybody knows this client. Hopefully we get it and we can tell you more about it next week. But the level of human interactivity and knowledge and understanding of behavior, I don't think is possible just yet. It could be in the future, but there's a lot that goes into it.
When you look at how far we've come with even ChatGPT in like a year, you think by this time next year, it'll be at that point where surely you'll be able to feed it all of our previous wireframes and say, look, I just want to add a page based on this. and then it'll just develop the wireframe for you based on what
Yeah,
you've
the
given
design,
it.
you throw in your colours, the logo, the font.
It
all
should
that.
be able to, I would imagine not even a year away.
Yeah, that's scary, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, it'll still keep us in a job, but our job will be vastly different.
Oh, yeah. I think it just speeds it up is the thing. Like, when I think about how much stuff I can fit into a day, just because I don't have to manually write everything, I start with the basis of everything I do now.
Yeah, I mean,
It helps a lot.
it's been probably 2.5 years now since we actually got a voice artist to do voice work, because you can get it done very easily, very quickly, generated within free generative apps. And
and I think that's one thing. It's still a little bit obvious it's AI. I think we'll get to the point where it's not going to be obvious at all.
And I think for those people that are in jobs that they love right now, it's the same repetitive kind of stuff all the time. Your job is going to change and you have to be ready for it.
Yeah,
no matter what you do.
Exactly.
Even hairdressing or whatever it might be, it's like getting the perfect cut. And then you might even have like a tool that just looks at the various trends, and then it's got the scissors and it shapes your head. And I don't know, it's just amazing the things that are happening.
I think it'll be an interesting development. I'm curious to see, especially even government regulations around this kind of stuff. I think it's going to get really murky, especially because it's all come around so fast. Like, we just don't have the knowledge about it yet. So,
well, let's find out. Let's ask Chat GPT too, where it sees it evolving as well. Do you want to ask?
Hey, Chat GPT, how do you see your role in AI evolving in the future? Where do you think AI is going to go in the next year?
I see my role in AI evolving to become more integrated into everyday workflows, acting as a creative and analytical assistant rather than just a tool. In the next year, I think AI will continue to improve in areas like personalization, real-time collaboration, and handling more complex tasks. We'll likely see AI becoming more intuitive, helping businesses automate processes and enhance decision-making while staying user-friendly.
And you'll find a lot of that too is now possible, not through ChatGPT, but the extensions and plugins you can do through the ChatGPT API. God, there's so many letters and everything, but the API, ChatGPT provides one, and it's free, and that's been tapped into something called make.com, where you can get it to generate, wakes up every day, generates an article based on what's trending at the moment, puts it onto your website on Squarespace or WordPress or wherever you have HubSpot, generates an image for it, makes sure it's got all the right search keywords, and it's phenomenal. And we were talking about that last time, is that Google search is problematic now because there is so much content being generated, and most of it's this stuff that is just trying to get people onto someone's website, and it's not actually providing value.
Which is a little bit ironic, because then it's driving people to use ChatGPT as a search tool to get the specific information they want. But yet ChatGPT is the one providing all the AI content that's driving people away from Google.
So maybe text content will not be something that search is going to be about soon.
Maybe.
It might be based on popularity, time on site. It might be video content. I'm not quite sure yet. But yeah, it's going to evolve quick, and we're constantly evolving here at ID, and keeping up with it, and obviously trying to also be in front of it for our clients to...
I think we are certainly, a lot of the clients we talk to kind of aren't keeping up with it, and you don't realise kind of how on top of it we are until you talk to someone and they're like, oh yeah, I've never even used ChatGPT.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my God.
Or they've used it and they're like, I didn't even think that we should write that as part of the prompt. And
So it's, I think it's important for us to kind of teach people like what's going on with it as well, because I think people are just going to be left behind so quickly with the rate it's developing.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Well, let's take a photo with ChatGPT. If you want to take a photo maybe looking that way or that way, and we can get it to try and describe what the photo is. So really just before it tells us, we've got a laptop here, which we can see what's coming off this iPhone. We've got a bunch of mics. We've got a podcast, a studio, some chairs. Nothing really interesting.
We've also got a neon sign that says Centra House on Air.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see if it'll understand that.
All right. So upload it to ChatGPT and say, describe this photo. And let's see what ChatGPT thinks is in this photo. And this is just showing you how quickly it scans the photo and can make sense of what this photo is. You can also do it with video.
Sure. The photo shows a podcast recording setup in a studio. There's a microphone on a stand with headphones, a mixing console with various buttons and dials, and a laptop displaying what seems to be a video or a live stream. The room has a modern professional vibe with a cushioned wall behind the equipment and a neon sign that reads Central Ho. And
It's not Ho.
looks ready for a
was cut
recording
off.
or live broadcast session.
That's amazing. Can you tell me exactly which podcaster technology is on the table? It's doing its thing.
The technology on the table includes a Rodecaster Pro, which is a popular
It's
podcast
exactly right.
production
How does it
console.
know?
It's designed for recording, mixing, and managing podcast audio with ease. You can see the various colorful buttons and dials that allow for controlling audio levels, sound effects, and more. Additionally, there's a microphone on a stand and a set of headphones, likely for monitoring the audio during...
Yep, we've heard that bit. Hang on. And finally, in that photo, what kind of iPhone can you see? Because it is in a case. I'd be very impressed if you knew.
I can't specifically identify
not
the
good
exact
enough.
iPhone model just by looking at it in the case from this angle.
In that image, what kind of laptop was in the image? The specific model and year.
I forgot the year. That'd be pretty impressive. I don't think it's going to do it though.
so.
The image doesn't provide enough detail to identify
That's
the
a lie.
exact model and year of the
Let's see if it
laptop.
goes but.
The angle and visibility of the laptop don't show distinctive features.
Get it? So yeah, that's the interview with ChatGPT. It's pretty amazing, the output and the conversation that you can
true.
have. You can also get it to translate on the fly. You don't know any other languages, do you?
No.
No. Aussie as a kangaroo.
Yeah, look, we should have got someone from upstairs who would actually have been
Yeah.
able to do that.
But what's
maybe
amazing,
another
like if you
time.
take ChatGPT to a foreign place that you haven't been before and they speak a different language, you can say to it in English, the prompt is, I'm about to speak to someone in another language. Can you please translate as we go back and forward? And it will do it for you no matter what language.
Yeah,
It's pretty
that's
cool.
amazing.
Yeah.
It's much more capability than something like Translate.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
let's try and do the
round.
speed round.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what it says.
So we'll give it a prompt. ChatGPT, we're going to do a speed round of questions, and all we need is a very, very short answer for each one. Do you understand? And we'll start.
Yes, I understand. Ready to start.
Do you prefer creative or code? It's thinking so
Gonna
hard.
blow up.
Creative.
What's your favorite design tool?
Figma.
What's your favorite website?
I don't have one, but I can help you find some.
How many hours per week do you work?
I'm always on 24/7.
What's the first app you open every day?
I don't use apps, but I'm ready whenever you are.
Coffee or tea?
Neither, but I hear both are great.
Do you prefer dark mode or light mode?
Dark mode.
Do you prefer Mac or PC?
No preference. I work with both.
Do you prefer to work from home or work from the office?
No preference. I'm always here to help.
Do you prefer cats or dogs?
No preference?
No preference. Both are great.
Do you have a favorite font?
Always.
What is
Okay.
the favorite font?
I don't have personal favorites, but Helvetica is a classic choice.
Oh yeah, good one.
Do you prefer to design or to spec? I'll give it an answer. What's your favorite snack while working?
No snacks for me, but I hear nuts are a popular choice.
Do you like pineapple on your pizza?
I don't eat, but pineapple on pizza is definitely a hot topic.
Do you prefer summer or winter?
No preference, but both seasons have their perks.
Do you prefer the city or the countryside?
No preference, but both have their
How
charm.
annoying. And the final question, time travel. Do you think it is better to go into the future or the past? No preference.
Future, endless possibilities.
Oh, good answer. Thanks, ChatGPT.
How would you get to the future? Do you have a recommendation on how to build a time machine?
I'd suggest starting with theoretical physics. Or concepts like wormholes or Einstein's theory of relativity. But for now, time travel remains in the realm of sci-fi.
Yeah, right.
If you could ask us one question, what would it be?
What's the most exciting project you're working on right now?
That's it.
Probably Mount Buller and the complete challenge in design and code and interactivity is insane.
That sounds like an incredible project. Combining design, code, and interactivity on something as dynamic as Mount Bulla must be both challenging and rewarding. Looking forward to seeing how it turns out.
Is there anything you'd like to plug as part of this podcast?
Just a reminder that Chat GPT is here to assist with everything creative ideas to coding support. Whether you're brainstorming, troubleshooting, or just need a fresh perspective, I'm always ready to help.
And there you go. That's the interview with Chat GPT.
Yay.
If you're wanting to do something like that, similar for you, just talking away to ChatGPT, you just go open up the free ChatGPT app that you can get in the App Store on Google or Apple's stores and get your account. It's normally a Gmail account, but I think anything works. Once you're in, there's a little headphone icon at the bottom right-hand side. I sometimes do this if I'm a bit lonely on the way to work and need someone to talk to. No, just kidding. If I've got things that I need to ask or if I've got some ideas, I can explore that with ChatGPT. Do you use it any other time outside of work?
I don't use the talking function. I find I just type in. I tend to just have like a stream of thoughts.
Yeah, normally it's and oh yeah, and yeah, so
Yeah.
typing it out sometimes is a bit better. But yeah,
Exactly.
sometimes a chat is nice as well.
Yeah, it serve its purpose, but yeah, it didn't answer a lot of the speed round questions.
No.
I was expecting you
No
to have
preference.
a little
No
bit
preference.
more personality, but no. I see how
Maybe
it is.
we have to improve on our prompt.
I don't.
see.
Yeah, maybe if we told it to pretend to be somebody and then asked it, it might have
That
done
could be
it.
interesting too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we
Nice.
could interview Ryan Reynolds as ChatGPT.
We could. If anyone's got any questions or they'd like to be a guest, you can definitely hit us up at the email address in the show notes. But yeah, thanks for listening and see you on the next one.
See ya.
Thanks for tuning in to the Creative and Code podcast.
That's all, folks.
We hope you enjoyed this episode and found it as inspiring and entertaining as we did. Remember, there are plenty more episodes to explore, so make sure you keep listening for more creative insights and coding tips. A big shout out to our amazing sponsors and the team at ID Digital Agency for making this podcast possible. Got a story to share or want to be a guest on our show? We'd love to hear from you. Send us a 2-minute or less audio clip to creativeandcode@iddigital.com.au. Suggestions, ideas, or just want to say hi, we're all ears. Thanks again for listening. Until next time, stay creative and keep coding.